What did Jesus mean when he said he was giving Peter the keys to the kingdom?
Right.
You would be surprised at how important this question is.
It comes up a lot, and it
comes with a whole lot.
And depending on who's asking, it comes with a level of presupposed conversation. So let's break it down. This comes from Matthew chapter 16, verse 19. To answer this, we will have to pan back. It begins in verse 13, really, where Jesus asks his disciples who people say he is. He then presses them and asks them to tell him who they think he is. And Peter, just the first of the 12 to speak up, he says this: "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus goes, "Ha ha!" he does a little play on words with Peter's name. He goes, "Your name means little stone or small pebble, depending on what translation you're looking at." And he is standing on the greater rock. The fact that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. This is the solid bedrock of our faith.
Foundational.
That's what Jesus is saying there in that moment. He points out that the church is built on this rock and cannot be overcome by the gates of hell. Nothing can shake the fact. If we stand on the fact, or nothing can shake us as a community, if we hold true to the fact that Jesus is the Son of God, Jesus is the Christ, the promised Messiah, and the Son of the living God, making him God, divine. Okay, that's what he's saying here. He now points to the keys, a symbolic item that represents authority. All right, so the Greek word here used for shall be bound or shall be loosed is best understood as already having been loosed and bound in heaven. Because that's what it is, shall be loosed in heaven. It's saying it's already been loosed in heaven. These things have already been loosed in heaven and on earth. Loosed in heaven. Meaning that my notes just went crazy. Meaning that we are given authority to call forth the things in heaven onto earth. Yes. God has already bound the enemy, so we can bind him on earth. Yep. God has already loosed freedom and grace, so we can loose those things on earth with people. Right. And this is not just because some people are like, oh, well, it's just Peter who could do that. No. Jesus says that, first off, he's talking to the group.
Right. He's saying that the gates of hell should not prevail against his church, not just against Peter.
Exactly. But on top of that, you see the whole conversation about bounding and loosing in the next chapter when he's again talking to all of his disciples.
Right. Yes.
So this is something we can take as we can safely go, we as a community as a whole, if you are a Bible-believing Christian, have the ability to bind and loose things.
Right, yeah. And these are things that, like you said earlier, that are bound and loose by heaven already. And he's giving access to the church, what God has already established in the spiritual. Yeah. And now he's telling you, I've done this for you based on this bedrock of faith. Now you have access to it. It's not some mythical thing that we have this bizarre quirk or power, but it is an authority given to us by what Jesus has released in the spiritual by his completed work.
Exactly. So that's our answer for that.